orbit.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, folks?
What's going on?
Welcome to episode 13 of our cute little podcast.
We made it to 13, lucky number 13.
We did. It's been a fun year, man.
Yeah.
It's been a fun year. I think we'll probably do one more episode this year to close it out, and then we will come back next year with some changes. I know I've been promising changes for a while, and it's still just me and Alex here.
We've been working on them, and we've been formulating anyway.
We have.
Formulating.
We
New
have.
year, I think, will bring new possibilities for us.
Yeah.
We've already come a long way in 13 episodes, man. I can't believe it's been 13.
Yeah, we've come a long way from the super awkwardness that started. It's a little bit more natural now.
My face used to go like, anytime the camera would turn on, my face would just be like,
Alex still hasn't watched many episodes.
I can't stand to do it. I rarely listen to or watch my comedy too.
No, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm
but
the same
I got to go back because we got to get, I want to make it better, and I got to want to look at how I can get better.
I-
We're naturally getting better, but it's like, I want it specifically.
I think we should have an episode where we watch our first episode.
That'd be funny, or at least segments from it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
it would be extremely painful, but I still think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it is the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. Depending on who you are, it could be your least favorite holiday, because there will be a lot of discussion about around the Thanksgiving dinner table.
That's right.
It's
Election
tough year, isn't it? But Uncle Bob or Uncle Bill or Uncle whatever, he might say something out of pocket.
Uncle Steve, Uncle Jack. Try to keep it in your pockets.
He's gonna say something out of pocket, guys. So we're gonna give you some survival tools a little bit down the road here. But
Yeah.
first, let's start with current events.
Nice.
Right, the news. So this week, I didn't get any graphics for this, guys, but have you heard of High Times Magazine?
I've heard of High Times Magazine before, yes.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kara? Well, actually, Kara, how are you doing, dear?
What?
How are you doing?
In terms of what?
Just life. How are you doing? I
Oh,
didn't say
okay.
hello.
I'm okay.
Okay.
And yes, I have heard of High Times.
Okay. Okay.
Really good.
So, High Times Magazine, guys, 1974 was the first release of High Times Magazine, and it was actually meant to be a parody of Playboy Magazine.
That's hilarious, actually. Yeah.
Instead of the women's centerfolds, it was going to have weed centerfolds, right?
Yeah, like,
But
look at those nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
But little did they know, they tapped into what was then counterculture and underground, kind of an underground market weed was in the
Yeah.
70s, obviously.
You could order the magazine, I guess, but then it's like you'd have to hide it from your parents and stuff. In my situation, it was just not possible at the time.
But it was a source of, it was some of our first literary sources for talking about marijuana. It was for me. I had many High Times magazines, which are all destroyed and falling apart now because I don't take care of things.
They're gonna be worth money someday if you like had kept them intact, like 50 years from
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Because it went on for 50 years, right?
Yeah, no,
That's a pretty dang long time.
50 years,
Yeah.
and the reason it's a current event, guys, is this: High Times has been in the news a lot this year, and it looks like what the people at High Times tried to do was capitalize on the legalization of marijuana, right?
Which makes sense.
Well, High Times is a ubiquitous brand, right? If
yeah.
you see the brand High Times, you know exactly what time it is, right? I'd seen them place their logo on a lot of merchandise. I've seen them, I think they have tried to open a few dispensaries.
Yeah.
They've all failed.
That's a shame because, like, what?
Well, it's mismanagement. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that, they couldn't sell the bud. Guys, during the first years of the cannabis space, there were a lot of finance backers out there, people that, buy into different businesses or industries or whatever. There's a ton of that money going around when cannabis first opened.
Yes.
And you got a lot of investors that wanted to get their money back quick.
Yeah.
Right. It's a money grab. And that's why that first phase of all these marijuana companies like MedMen, I'm trying to think of another one, blanking right now. But the first slate of guys that got into this, a lot of them did not survive because, first of all, their expectations were way too high. They expected a much higher return on investment than they were able to garner from these. So companies like High Times and Midman, or they started running into financial issues because they bet too much on the success of this stuff.
Yes.
Right. And
it was complicated at first. It's just now really hitting the swing of things. Like even our dispensaries now are just starting to stop.
Oh yeah.
I was on the menu for Daylight the other day, and it's huge now. It started, there was like 9 things on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a life cycle to the cannabis industry in a new market, right? There's a life cycle, and then the life cycle starts with the introduction of just your marijuana, right? Your flower, that's the most popular thing. And because it wasn't available before, it's a huge novelty. So people start with marijuana.
Yeah.
And then as your market matures, you move to easy to access stuff like vape pens, disposable vapes, edibles, all this kind of stuff. Pre-rolls.
Yeah.
So you've seen that kind of come onto the scene. And then you get to market maturity where you start to see high quality products in those spots. So you get high quality flower, high quality cartridges, all that stuff. And then you start to get kind of experimental or newer delivery methods like the patches or the inhalers we've talked about. Sublinguals. Yep. Some derm. So cannabis is finally reaching that space in New Jersey. Now, the one thing that isn't changing is the fucking price.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. If you have people come to our state, like California, Colorado, Michigan,
Massachusetts, even Maine, and
they have no idea why the weed's so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's artificially inflated, guys. It's just what we've done to ourselves.
Just like our rent prices around here. Mount Laurel and Maple Shade and all that.
Jersey's one of the most expensive states in the country to live in. Man.
And then this section of Jersey is like particularly one of the most expensive sections of the state.
In South Jersey.
Yeah.
As North Jersey makes a lot of fun of South Jersey. Right. They think we're just country bumpkins now.
Right. There's a large portion of South Jersey which is country. Yeah. You know, it's the Pine Barrens, but that's not us. Yeah, that's definitely not us.
Pineys.
I remember in college, all my friends in Kentucky would be like, "Oh, it's probably so cold up there in Jersey." It's like, no, we're kind of like right across, like horizontal. You know, we're east, almost directly from Louisville.
Yep.
As opposed to like, oh, you're way up north. Like, no.
Yeah, way up north is Maine.
Right.
Where the weed is delicious
and cheap.
I've been getting some products from Maine as of late, and it really has kind of changed my perspective on the quality of what we have in our dispensaries.
Wow.
Here.
See, I don't even know enough to try that. How do you just go online? You can order stuff from a Maine dispensary?
I cannot.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
But I can get you some.
Okay, cool.
I can't tell them where it comes from now.
It comes from Maine.
It's not on the podcast.
Sure.
But yeah, the Maine stuff is great. And what I found is that there are a lot of individual extract artists and growers up in Maine, and because of the set of laws they have up there, it's a little easier for them to operate, right? So they can open a legal cannabis business. You know, they're not supposed to let this shit out of the state, but they do. Thank God they do, because the rest of us wouldn't know that we needed to get better with our product lines here. Sorry, I wasn't close to the mic there, guys. All right, so anyway, that's off topic. High Times, gone. I don't expect to see much of them. They might. Actually, that's not true. What's going to happen is they're going to be bought out by somebody. Somebody's going to buy it, because that's a huge. It's a huge brand, and they're not just going to let a brand like that just falter. So somebody will buy it. Somebody will rebrand it. It will be re-released, but just know that it's not the original High Times anymore. The original owners don't have anything to do with it. It's basically a new brand at this point.
After 50 years.
And they're just going to slap this logo on everything in a lot of products, white label stuff. And white label means stuff that is made by another company, and they sell it to somebody else. They change the label. It's white label. So that's what I expect to see with High Times. Anyway, let's move on to our point today. So, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, what else we got? Winter solstice. Festivus for the rest of us.
The New Year's Eve.
Holidays.
All the holidays.
Holidays with a Z. D-A-Z-E. Days. So the holidays are coming up, guys, and you're going to be spending a lot of time with your family. It's a great time to stock up on cannabis products.
Yes.
It's a great time to give cannabis products for gifts. It's a great time to review your year.
Mm.
So we're going to help with that. I got a few products here that I really like.
Yeah.
And we're even going to make Alex try and mess with these on camera. All we're going to do is introduce the product, put some weed in the grinder in front of him, and we're going to see what happens.
It'll be a double blind
Yeah,
experiment.
because I doubt he's going to be able to talk and roll at the same time. But whatever happens is going to be funny.
I'm
So
a pretty good roller historically. I am.
now,
I
guys,
really am.
cannabis is a great gift space now. It's a great gift for friends, your parents, your spouse. It's a great way to get something that's going to have much more effect on somebody's life than something materialistic, right?
In a shirt or another pair of socks or another tie or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But it's a good time to introduce somebody new to cannabis. It's a good time to kind of expose the world that they're missing. Because I still today have people that come in here with all kinds of issues, and they don't have anywhere else to go, and they end up on weed. So in my mission to spread this plant all over the place, I suggest you bring in others whenever you have the time. And start with your parents or some shit.
Thanksgiving table is actually a good place for that topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the conditions in society are more favorable to the cannabis advocacy side of this than they ever have been. You know what I mean?
There's one thing that I think that a Trump presidency does for this business, and people need more.
Yeah, people need more weed.
Yes,
That's it. Yeah,
people will need more because in
stronger ways.
In 2016 to 2020, one of the best times for my business, because boy, if you turned on the TV, you were stressed.
Yeah.
And you were just looking for something to escape to. So
Yep.
it made a lot of sense.
And he kept saying, Mark was talking, you were talking about cannabis gifts and stuff like that. To be clear, you can buy someone like cannabis, right? That's a cool gift.
Oh yeah, you can buy straight weed.
But this place that we're sitting in right now, the Scyfli, is full of like other stuff that you can get, like creative, cool, unique things that you can get for somebody. You know what I mean? Ancillary things like pipes and water pipes and all the devices we're about to review today and stuff like that. So if you have someone that's a smoker in your life, you know what I mean, or someone that uses cannabis, come on down to Scyfli Smoke Shop. We'll have gifts here for the holidays. It's full of great stuff. I'm talking about A to Z, everything in here, and it's the good stuff too.
Yeah, nobody's gonna balk at a weed gift, guys, and everybody will love it. All right, so what are we going to start with today? So today we have a couple products. I have 4 here, 5. But we're going to start with a product that is meant to help you roll what they call a Cannagar. Okay. So with traditional rolling or a cone, right? You have a rolling machine, you roll it up, or you stuff a cone.
If you go on wish.com and purchase a terrible cigarette rolling machine for 99 cents.
Well, no, Alex just did that.
I did do that.
And I was going to have him show this piece of shit on the show. But we couldn't really figure it out fast enough.
I can guess there's a spring, there's a tube.
But this is the Cannagar, guys. Right
This is high quality. This is dope.
It's from Purple Rose Supply.
Do we have it?
Yeah.
Are we on the right thing?
Yeah, the small camera, you can see it. So there it is, guys. And we're going to open it up. It has kind of your box where you do the stuffing.
Oh,
Literally, we're just going to give Alex a few pointers so he doesn't look completely lost. But what you're going to do is you're going to fill up these channels with your bud, and you're going to tamp them down with this. You can do one of these.
Gotcha.
And that's going to shove it at the bottom there.
Seems coital in nature.
Yep. It's a little phallic. But the key part of this, guys, is it uses one of these toothpicks in the middle. And when you put this toothpick in here like so, it leaves an air channel so that even though the Cannagar is tightly packed, air can still get through it.
Yeah, and that's key because everyone's rolled one that's way too tight, or that like you leave it overnight and then it just solidifies or something.
So we're gonna let Alex futz with this.
Nice.
While I'm continuing to rant about various things. Okay.
So the pointed end of the skewer through the bottom of locked canna mold, then place it on a flat upright surface. Sorry.
Yeah, Alex, I'm going to need you to keep the instruction to yourself.
No problem. I will. I'll see what I can come up with here because I'm excited for this. I'm a good roller. Traditionally, I am.
I suck at rolling.
Everyone. The best roller you've ever seen.
Oh, well, before he even gets his hands on this, guys,
Oh, yeah,
the SLX grinder. This is one of my favorite grinders. Okay, it's non-stick, right? It's got a ceramic non-stick coating on it.
Wait, they can definitely see this?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. So this one's a little used, but it remains kind of very easy to turn over time because of that non-stick surface.
That's the key right there. It'll get gummed up.
There's 3 sizes of that. There's small, medium, large. Alex has the medium right now.
Size medium.
But if you're looking for a great grinder that is not kind of your average break in 3 months, garbage in 3 months grinder, SLX is a great one. There's a lifetime warranty on it because if you have any cross threading or a tooth bends or something like that,
Or your dog eats the screen.
It's a hell of a dog.
Yep.
You know, it stands up to common use pretty well. Right. So while Alex is making us a Cannagar, trying to, you reading the instructions, man?
No, I think I get how it works, but let me hold on to this.
He is such a man. That's what I would do to instructions. This is here for the losers. I just futz through this and try and do it.
I'm a natural.
So while he's doing that, I'm going to talk about the Titan. Okay, because I've been.
That looks dope.
Oh yeah, you guys don't love this. So this is the Titan here, guys. Okay, it is a cannabis concentrate vaporizer. I've been here the entire life cycle of these devices. I've seen from the first ones to today. Holy shit, we have come a long way.
Yeah.
Because the first iterations of this, I can't even believe I use these things because I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna get cancer from one of these things. But the old ones had like wire in them, right? Instead of a flat quartz or ceramic surface, the heat came from heating up a circuit, like a coil. So you would press the button and this little metal wire would heat up. And that's how you would use your cannabis concentrate. Completely useless after a few dabs, right? Because that filament that was heating up is just not efficient and it can't continue to heat up over time. So we've seen a ton of these over the years. There are a few companies that I kind of lean towards in the past, like you guys have probably heard of Puffco. Puffco had a good kind of mid-life cycle set of pens, right? They weren't the best, but they were serviceable. They sold parts for them, but they were expensive. The first good dab wax pens were expensive because they just weren't available en masse. So the ones that were available were expensive, right? But slowly, I think we're probably about 15 years into the kind of concentrate pen life cycle. At this point, they're starting to really hit their stride. There are several devices under $100 that are just great.
Wow.
So the Ooze Titan is one of those, right? And it's super simple to use. I have mine here, and it's a little waxy. It's gotten some use. But you're probably not going to be able to see this because we don't have the best set of cameras, guys. But there is a flat blue ceramic dish in here, and it's pretty large, right? It's about the size, I'd say, of a dime. Okay. And you put your wax in the middle of that ceramic dime-sized kind of surface there.
Okay.
And what it allows you to do is change the temperature and change the amount of heat. So that's the same thing. What the hell am I talking about? It allows you to change the time that the heat is on as well as the temperature. So for small dabs, the temperature starts at about 420 degrees.
Wow, 420.
Right, 420. So at 420 would be a small dab, right? Because it only gets so hot. Okay. The larger dabs, this thing goes all the way up to, it goes 680. So 420 to 680, guys.
That's pretty impressive. 680 is very hot.
Yeah. Well, I am still impressed with this device because it allows me, even a guy that does larger dabs, to do a whole dab in one pen. I had not seen something like this before. Before, you had to limit your size because you could easily drown the heating element by putting too much concentrate in there.
Okay.
So this is the first time. Ooh, it's on. Well, it's got a lot of residue in there. That's just my old wax residue, guys.
Oh yeah,
Yes, the fumes.
that's crumble.
But yeah. So with that wide range of heat, you can do small to large dabs, and it's $80, under 100. I told you, so it's $80, right?
That same thing with the ceramic and all that used to be way more. Like
Oh yeah,
200,
yeah. No, this is a $200 device 5 years ago, right? So it has replaceable heads. Okay, this head comes off. This top, it comes off.
So if it ever to wear out or something like that.
Well, it is going to wear out. Okay. After a lot of use, it's going to wear out. So these actually come off, right? And then you can either replace it, clean it, do what you got to do. But it is a great way to kind of take your dabs on the road. I know it's a good device because typically I do not use these when I am at home or I'm at the shop. I would use a dab rig, right?
Read a big glass
until I ran into this, because this is just as good as a dab. Because for historically, getting a dab size hit off a pen is not as easy as a dab rig, because a dab rig, you can get much hotter. You're using a larger glass surface. There's more surface area for the wax to come into contact with. So a dab rig, typically you can do much larger dabs than you can with one of these. But now you're getting a slate of products where the electronic device is just as good as the glass dab rig device.
That's awesome.
Try this out.
That's what I'm talking about in terms of technology. You know what I mean? That's what you like to see.
Well, it's an evolution.
Yeah,
it's an evolution.
Vape carts were a big game changer. You know what I mean? In this way, because a huge glass dab rig is a cumbersome thing. You gotta set it up. You have a safe place, etc. That's the car. That's the mall. That's
that thing is heavy too.
It
is very heavy.
It's got 2,400 milliamps in it. So the battery. Let's just say this: I've been using this for 2-3 weeks. I've yet to charge it.
Whoa.
I think it's got like 80% battery left. So excellent device. Don't sleep on this, guys. If you want some more information, you can always reach out to us. We'll
we stock it here at the Scyfli, dude.
And we do stock it.
Nice.
We do stock it. But try it. And talking about this leads me into a kind of segue here that I wanted to go over. And the reason we're going over this is because I saw a documentary on Netflix about something in the manufacturing and consumer products industry called planned obsolescence. You know what planned obsolescence is? Okay.
No.
So, guys, in consumer electronics, have you ever tried to repair your iPhone yourself? Or tried to repair something yourself and found it really hard to find the directions or the tools or somebody that actually can do it, right? A good example of planned obsolescence is from a company called John Deere.
Okay.
You know John Deere's?
Yes.
John Deere's makes tractor and farm equipment.
The power of the country.
So if your John Deere tractor breaks down, there's very little that you as a owner can do to fix it on your own, right? In order to fix it, and in order to even find out what's wrong with it, you have to take this tractor to the dealership or have one of their people come out and look at your tractor. And they're going to hook up a computer to it and tell you what's wrong with it.
Yep.
Say your tractor has a warranty. If you attempt to fix your tractor on your own, they are going to void the entire warranty of your tractor.
And these are $2 and $3 and $500,000 and $1 million machines sometimes.
So planned obsolescence, as it relates to that, means your phone, for instance, will stop working unnecessarily within a couple years of you purchasing your phone, right? You know, I know you've had your phone and after a year, things start to kind of futz up. Your phone if built correctly, could last a very long
Same
time.
thing with automobiles. A Jeep should be able
Yep.
to last forever, right? But
If they use the right materials, this stuff could last much longer.
Yeah.
But because they need you to buy more, and this is in every industry, right? Especially the consumer products industry, they don't build it to last. They build it to be rebought.
Yeah, my partner's grandfather has his original stove, dishwasher, I think, and like from the 50s, and they still work beautifully.
Yep.
And they're beautiful, by the way.
Yeah. Well, they made things to last a lifetime.
Right. That was the whole point and the whole appeal back then.
Yeah. And this is pre, rampant consumerism like we have now. The shit on Temu and Wish and, companies like Fashion Nova, all of these products that they sell are made in a subpar fashion using subpar parts, and they will break down
at sub cost, right? Yeah.
No, then child labor, not paying people enough. There's a reason that we, as a country, buy most of our shit from China. Okay, it costs less to make them. And it serves the consumer or the corporate need to get more money by making stuff that will break down fast. Right. Okay. All right. So why am I talking about planned obsolescence? My favorite product in the cannabis space has been the same product for almost 20 years.
Nice.
And this product is actually pretty much the reason I got into this business.
Nice. Okay. This is exciting.
Small aside. My family owns one of these. My mom has one of these at home, and I had planned to bring it in and have an actual one and play with it. But when I got to my mom's house this morning, everybody was asleep, and I didn't want to wake anybody up. So I was tiptoeing around, and I didn't want to wake my mom up and ask her where the volcano was. So I said, you know what? Let me just take the box. So this is the box, right? It's full, but I can't open it. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a separate episode or just a separate kind of vignette episode, a small episode where we're going to review the Volcano. It really is probably the best vaporizer I've ever come across. Has been.
Is it still a bag? It still fills a bag and then you pass the bag around the room?
Still fills a bag.
Cool.
I discovered this in 2003.
Whoa.
This company was started in 1998 in Germany. Which, if you know me, you know that I think Germany makes the best consumer products on the planet. And one of the reasons is that whole planned obsolescence that we just talked about. They're not really big on that in Germany. They're big on consumer products that last a lifetime. So, even though they have access to the cheap stuff like the rest of us do, the products that are engineered in Germany, they're just
great manufacturing.
Those great manufacturing standards, right? And the Volcano vape is in a league of its own for a couple reasons. First of all, it was the first medical device that can be used in a hospital, right? So if you go into a cancer ward or any type of medical ward where cannabis is of help to the patients there, you are likely to see this device in there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that it's purchased as a medical device and sold and stuff like that.
Well,
awesome.
You know how things are super expensive in a hospital?
Yeah.
Anything.
Right.
Let's just take a very common item, the MRI machine, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
The MRI machine in a hospital is built to last, right? It's not something that they plan on having to rebuy in 5 years. And hospitals generally, when they buy equipment like that, that is their modus operandi. How can I save money but buy a product that'll last years under wear and tear, right? So products like the Stores and Bickle stuff fit right into a hospital's kind of way of purchasing things. Like it's going to last. I discovered the Volcano vaporizer in a coffee shop in Amsterdam in 2003.
Nice.
Right. 2003 was pretty much the first year that the Volcano was on the market. And at that time, I was a 20 to 21-year-old college student at the University of Miami.
Traveling to Amsterdam.
And loving drugs.
Nice.
Don't forget about the drugs.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend my girlfriend at the time, sorry, baby, My girlfriend at the time spent a summer or a semester in Europe, and January I was supposed to. Well, in January of 2003, I went over there. I flew into Amsterdam to meet them, and we traveled Europe for several weeks.
Wow.
And I insisted that I fly into Amsterdam because at the time, Amsterdam was the only, well, California had them too, but Amsterdam was the only place that had consumption lounges as a regular kind of part of their cannabis industry.
Yeah.
In the 90s and 2000s, Amsterdam was the spot, man. Amsterdam was the spot because you would go over there and you could talk about it openly. You could smoke it openly. There's a place, one of the first places I passed when I got off the train in Amsterdam was a place called the Bullfrog.
The Bulldog.
No, Bullfrog.
The Bullfrog. Okay.
Bulldog's a place, but Bullfrog's also a place.
I had a shirt that I used to rock the crap out of. Yeah.
Guys, the Bullfrog was a steakhouse on top of a dispensary or a cafe where they sold weed. I was shocked by this place. It was too early in the morning, first place I saw it, so I couldn't, get a steak at 9 a.m. I guess I could have, but I didn't.
Steak and eggs.
I was supposed to go meet my girlfriend at the hotel after getting off the train in Amsterdam. Right?
Okay.
I met a couple guys on the plane. At this point in my life, I've met a lot of guys on planes. And let's just say we had some prescriptive help on that plane. So I was feeling nice when I got off the plane. So I'm headed towards my girlfriend's place, but I'm walking with these guys still because they just happen to be walking the same direction I am. And we passed this place called Barney's Breakfast Club.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't know how important this place would be to Mark's origin story. But I walk in, and it's basically a small breakfast cafe with bongs lining the wall and like a little place to buy weed in the back. And they had a menu. You take your menu, you say, I want the sour diesel or whatever it was. They would give you your weed at that counter, and then you would sit down and eat breakfast and hang out with your friends. So after I had bought my weed, I sat down, and now I'm looking for a device to use.
Okay.
Right, because the place is lined with devices.
You get to pick one off the wall.
Yeah, you get to pick anything off the wall. Mm-hmm. And on that wall was a pyramid-shaped device. And it had this weird logo on it. It's called the Volcano. And it was my first plug in the wall vaporizer. Early on, most vaporizers were plug in the wall, but there was one that it's called a whip vape. And basically it hooks up to a small box, and you have a plastic whip.
Oh yes.
And you hook the whip up to that. Was kind of one of the early ones.
With the glass thing at the end.
Yes.
A tube, like a medical catheter.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was like a silicone tube where the vape would come through. Those were the first vapes. I might even be able to find you one. But anyway, up until that point, that was the only one I had really seen. I saw the Volcano. I said, what the hell is that? I had one of the people demonstrate this thing for me. And that was basically it. After that, I don't think I ever fell out of weed, love with weed after that. Because the first thing I did when I got back to the States is buy one. So I had the Volcano 20 years ago, before anybody else had this shit. I was the coolest kid in college. Just kidding. But I was popular because you could get a whole room of people high with this thing. Yeah. It was just unfathomable how cool this thing was when it first came out.
Take plant, put it in there, turns it into vapor, not even smoke, just vapor in a bag, and you just pass the bag around. Yeah, like
it has a fan in it, so it blows up a bag on its own. Yeah. And we're gonna show you all this on a subsequent episode, guys. But it blows a bag up. The bag is full of basically cannabis vapor. You take the bag off the machine and you just inhale it.
Yeah.
Like so. You just inhale it. And they make different size bags, right? You can get really big bags, like a 3-foot bag, or you can get a little bag, set better for one person. But if you have the 3-foot bag, which is the party bag, you could pass it around, get a whole room of people high, right? And since then, the device has only improved. Right? Because
back then it was probably finicky and like it would work sometimes.
No, it worked, but it wasn't as sturdy as it is today. Right? Because it almost was kind of a prototype in those early days in 2003. So my Volcano lasted years, and the only reason it stopped working had nothing to do with the actual device itself. The device got in an accident. So I'm driving down 73 out here, right in front of the shop. I was driving down 73, and for some reason, I had an SUV at the time, and the not lift gate, but the trunk, whatever the fucking trunk is called in the SUV, it opened, or I didn't close it, or something. Okay, I had some shit fall out of the back while I was driving. Volcano happened to be one of them.
Whoa.
Was all right at first, but then a fucking car hit it.
Yeah, well, that'll do.
So I watched my Volcano die on Route 73 from vehicular homicide. And I just hadn't bought a new one since then, because I'm mostly a dabber now. I don't do as much flower, but my mother still has one, and that's the one we got here. But it's expensive, guys. Yeah. Volcano vape is expensive, but it's the last vaporizer you will buy. All right, it's going to cost you $480 or so. Go ahead.
Is this the old one, the original?
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I just looked it up.
I don't know what that is. It looks like one, but it looks like it might be from Temu.
Temu, that fancy French site. TIMEUX.com.
Is that it's the Wish version?
Temu.
Guys, Alex
it's
loves
on stores in Bickle.
Was it?
It was like an article on there.
Really? Maybe there was a prototype. Guys, I just want to do an aside. Alex loves Wish.
For some things I do love Wish. I needed a grow light, not because I'm growing cannabis at home, because I'm growing flowers and stuff over the winter.
I think he's more curious than anything, and the stuff costs like 67 cents. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Why? How much was that thing you bought? The cigarette roller
thing? Like $3.67 or something. Freebies with it. Yeah.
I listen. To T-Pain is.
Yeah.
I listen to his stream sometimes, and the other day he did an episode where they spent $3,000 on Temu.
Okay.
And they just got all this shit in, and they were just showing it on camera. Some of it isn't that bad.
Oh, yes.
You can find some real gems in there, and some of the items you end up buying are the same ones that they rebrand in like Walmart or whatever. You guys, these companies in China, these companies in China, they don't care about copyrights. They don't care about trademarks. They don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Yeah. So they will steal yours and make their own version and sell it on Temu. Now, this is a rampant practice in the cannabis industry. Yeah, you've seen fake stuff, right? Like fake roars, fake
even fake papers, like raw papers.
Oh yeah. Raw had a huge fake paper issue for a while, because they get the similar equipment, similar materials, and they try and reproduce it, and only a practiced eye can see that it's a fake.
Yep.
And there's this time for Raw where they went on this campaign to kind of stop all this fake stuff, and they literally sent you like a education booklet.
I saw that you have one by the register here.
They sent us a how to spot fake Raws kind of booklet. So there's just rampant counterfeiting in the cannabis industry, guys. And those counterfeits, you can't really trust the quality of those products. They're made in a subpar fashion, so you will get subpar results.
It was an early prototype, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Put it back up. Put it back up. I want to see that again. Ooh, look at this thing.
Yeah.
It very much looks like a German prototype.
Yeah, with
right. It looks like Werner von Braun's V2 rocket.
From 96, I think.
You know who Werner von Braun is?
Oh yeah.
He's about to say.
He was a Nazi scientist, but then we got him sent.
The father of NASA.
Yeah, and then we became, the whole guy for NASA.
There's a lot of smart Nazis that helped the Americans figure shit out back then, guys.
He's Marcus Stoles.
Ah, now that is a guy I would let design my vaporizer.
Yeah.
Look at all those tools. Look at that wood.
Look at that pegboard.
It probably smells like
boombox.
Oh yeah. I feel like it smells like leather bound books in here. and maybe some. He must like weed, so leather-bound books and marijuana. It probably smells like in there.
What a pegboard!
But I probably this device, this one he's showing here. Yes, this is the
blueprint.
Yes, Ted, you are good. This is awesome. I never seen this stuff. I might have to look at this later. But guys, but look at this. This is engineering. Okay, the parts that he's using. This guy is not thinking. He's not in his head thinking, how can I make sure that the consumer has to buy this every 3 years, right? He's thinking, man, I want to build the best vape and have it last forever.
Here's Marcus Stores and Jürgen Bickel.
Those are our guys there.
Wow.
Okay.
I guess
I don't trust them.
Vapotech Industries, I think.
I'm looking at these guys. I don't know if I trust them, guys.
The German.
That's not why, Akira. That's totally why.
It's darker. 50-50.
But no, anyway, guys, they this is Stores and Bickel. These are the two guys that actually started the company. They still own it today. Stores and Bickel has come out with a lot of new devices, by the way. After they kind of perfected the home device here, they come out with a ton of portables: the Crafty, the Mighty, the Venti. So now we're at Starbucks.
Double frap.
So it's an excellent device, guys, and I can't recommend the Volcano enough. There's no buyer's remorse at all with the Volcano. You will be plain old happy because it's going to last you a long time, and it'll probably be one of the last devices you buy.
Wow,
gold plated for the 20th anniversary.
Full of buds.
Yeah, you know what it's good for? It's good for people that are very sensitive to smoking. Like, there's a lot of older folks that just don't like the hotness of inhaling smoke. Even other types of vapes. I find a lot of other vapes aren't as consistent as the Volcano here. You always get the
pinnacle of quality, definitely is the Volcano. It's been that way, I think.
But every hit is just as good as the last in my point. A lot of the my issue with a lot of the portable vaporizers,
like a PAX or something like that.
Yeah, PAX is Well, the PAX, for example, the PAX has a pretty small oven.
Okay.
Right. I think it's about a half gram, maybe less. So the thing about the PAX is that for heavy users, somebody that smokes several times a day, the PAX becomes not enough. Right. Okay. And you have to pack several ovens in there to get what you want.
Got to pack the PAX.
Pack the PAX.
Pack the PAX is
twice.
Which is found in its kitchen.
Now the Volcano here, you can put about a gram in there at once. And I don't think I've ever put too much in there. I mean, you want air to be able to get through it, but as long as it's a little air can get through, the fan can push through the bud and blow up the balloon. As long as it can do that, you're going to get a really, really nice hit.
It doesn't burn it; just heats it to that right thing that lets that gas go, and it's vapor. Yeah.
Well, well, vaporizing in general, the whole premise is to heat the product to right before combustion or near combustion. So it's almost hot enough to light, but not quite hot enough. Right. And at that temperature, what you release from the plant is the active ingredient, which is THC and the cannabinoids. Right. Instead of lighting it on fire and then smoking the materials, you're just inhaling the good stuff. Because when you smoke it, you light everything on fire: the chlorophyll, the plant material, the woody stem, and all this. And you inhale a bunch of unnecessary things, right? All you really want when you're using cannabis is the THC, CBD, and other cannabinoids, right? Everything else is pretty much useless to you. So a device like the Volcano, which really separates the two very well, whereas you're getting a ton of cannabinoids, you're getting no waste product at all. It's just a good thing. And it tastes wonderful, by the way, if you are interested in the nuances of your terpene profile, right? It'll really help you kind of taste the different levels of terpene and the different...
Because the smoke probably overpowers it, right? And it's
I will say, I got the Crafty Plus like 2 or 3 years ago whenever I worked here, and it was very different. It's like not jarring in like a negative sense, but jarring in like a, oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, you're holding a much higher quality product, and in the States, we're not really used to that anymore, because we buy so much Japanese, and Chinese stuff. Though the Japanese actually have a pretty good reputation. They make excellent products. So does South Korea. But that's not where most of the cheap stuff come from. Right. Cheap stuff comes from China. And it's funny. I spend a lot of time watching a couple guys that talk about China a lot. It's an interesting part of the world to me, the Far East. The homogeneity of the society really is interesting to me, right? America's a melting pot, though, right? We got all kinds of different people here. But when you go to some place like China or Japan, people look a lot the same, right? And the society is made up of people that kind of look the same. So they just think differently about the world. I find that hugely interesting. And China, which is controlled by the CCP, they have a problem because the government, terrible. People, pretty good, right? Chinese people, excellent people, great people. Yep. Chinese government, fucking awful.
It's like a lot of places.
Like a lot of places, including my country at this point. So my point is that, when you're sourcing devices or parts for a device or something like that, sacrificing cost for high quality, it can sometimes be worth it because you're going to get a product that you don't have to rebuy. It will cost you guys, right? That's why, IKEA. I fucking hate IKEA.
I love IKEA.
It's just because you're young and you don't
meatballs. I go there for meatballs. Okay. I don't go there.
I thought she loved the furniture. She loves the sweetest meatballs.
Yeah, true. And ice cream sandwiches.
Listen, it's a good place to hang out, but the furniture is fucking dissolvable. Okay, I can't tell you how many pieces of shit things I've gotten from IKEA that, it's made of particle board. Right. So it's not made of wood, right? It's made of wood chips compressed together. That's what a lot of IKEA furniture is made out of. Yes, exactly. So, that versus solid wood furniture. Solid wood furniture will last you a lifetime.
Like the good stuff you can find on Wish or Temu or no.
The opposite of that. Yeah, the opposite. We're talking about Lazy Boy or
you could literally go to the Philadelphia Museum of Art and see old colonial.
Oh yeah,
and it's beautiful.
Right, from the 17 goddamn hundreds, and this stuff is still good furniture. It's heavy. Yeah. It's heavy as this stuff might as well be made out of the marble.
You could go to the Amish markets and get some good furniture.
You can,
because
you can.
Yeah, or shed or.
I love the Amish people because they make the best glazed donut on the planet. I was in Delaware yesterday. We're getting real off topic. I don't give a fuck. I was in Delaware yesterday and my in-laws, and we were after I hung out with my in-laws, we went to a place for Friendsgiving, right? It was friends of ours. And she was talking about this Amish donut place that uses brioche rolls to make their glazed donuts. Holy crap, guys.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that I don't live close to really good food. Like, if I was within walking distance of a Krispy Kreme.
You're literally within walking distance of an Italian bakery.
I guess
well,
they just bake bread though, right?
They just bake bread.
No, they have a lot of stuff.
No, I had a sort of you know how I do obsessions, right? And I will eat the same thing for breakfast for 3 fucking months, right? So I did my 3-month obsession down there. I had every treat, everything. I know all the people over there. So don't get me wrong. I know about the Italian bakery.
They miss you.
They probably do. They probably do. But my latest obsession has been at Dunkin' Donuts. I get a frozen or a high latte and the queso potatoes. So they got these tater tots.
Yeah, I seen them.
Yes, the loaded potatoes. That's what I've been. I'm on month 2, so it's gonna go away soon. Because this is just another phase in the life of Mark. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna go on to next, but those queso potatoes have been key.
Nice.
What's your favorite thing at Dunkin' Donuts?
I'll sometimes get a sandwich. What I get when I get a sandwich is the ham and cheese croissant stuffer.
I love croissant.
Croissant stuffé.
My wife doesn't like croissants. I make fun of her for it.
Croissants are the best thing in the world.
How do you not like croissants? I said,
So
what are you talking about?
They're light and flaky.
And layered
and soft
and
crispy.
So much
crispy.
butter.
Like, how do you
Have
not?
you seen them make the layers of the croissant before they bake it?
Oh yeah, I've seen. You know, I do these food videos things.
I fall asleep to how it's made.
Yeah, how it's made. I love those videos where they show like factories and people like making stuff, and there's just one guy that puts the cherry on top, and he all day 5,000 cherry.
Right, yeah.
I love watching that stuff.
You got to do this exercise, otherwise. Yeah.
I used to work at a staffing company, and one time I got to go in this bottle making factory. And what I was there for was to, hand out my employee checks for the day. But what I ended up doing is getting a tour of the factory from the owner. And it was like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I love factories. I just love production places. Large places where they're doing something like, that's why I like grow houses so much. There's nothing like walking into a room and just seeing fields of grain, or a machine, like hundreds of machines just moving in unison. That really tickles my neurodivergency.
My favorite, I just not recently, like 3 months ago, I watched a factory tour about the Polaroid factory.
That was probably a good one.
It's crazy.
My mom just bought a new Polaroid for her new business, and I messed with that thing for a while.
I love Polaroid.
Well, I think it's a lost medium, that whole instant pic. I mean, we do it on our phones now, but there's something to be said about a physical picture versus a digital one.
As a photographer, there's just something about it.
Yeah,
just like
holding it. I think it's more permanent, obviously, because it's not digital. It's a physical thing you can hold. So I totally get.
And now that Trump is president, Project 2025 might be coming, which means the Nazis might be coming behind that. But one of the big things is they wanted to ban pornography.
Yeah,
like in Japan.
That is the one.
Or in Korea. Yeah.
The one thing that'll cause a fucking American revolution. Get rid of. Try and do that to porn.
Yeah, look what happened to Tumblr when Yahoo bought it.
Yes, guys, don't get rid of it.
But it's going to skyrocket the sales of Polaroids, because everyone's going to have to go back to the old days of carrying one
thinking 2 steps down the road.
Yeah, one.
Or we'll get those like a pen. Those pens where it's like a naked lady and you flip it upside down or whatever. Good old days.
Deck of playing cards. Yeah, deal them. Oh.
Alex, tell us about your project.
Oh, okay. So it's going good. So it's ready to go, but I think it's got a cure for like 12 hours. Or I filled it all the way.
Okay.
It says you can roll it in the instructions. It says you can roll it right out of here, but it's gone well. I don't know if you guys can see this here.
Okay, so it has to cure. I didn't read that part. So
it doesn't have to cure. I could.
No. We don't cure. I'll open it later and make because I want to see. It.
Leave your Cannagar locked in the mold to cure. Yeah, repeat steps 2 and 3, but you just pack it down, and it's got this toothpick sitting up in the middle.
All right, you and me are gonna smoke that this week.
Sweet.
We'll smoke that this week.
It's locked with a belt buckle thing.
I love little items like that. So this was actually a suggestion from a customer, that thing, and typically, it's hard for me to keep up on every single new device in cannabis. So I appreciate when customers come in and tell me about little stuff like that, guys. So
this is really cool. It's like you could just roll great ones with it, like this thing, because it's packed tight, man. I was packing the crap out of it, but that air channel means it don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to pack the crap out of it. Yeah,
you got to take that. You got to take that to your peoples in Philly.
Yeah,
and just do and just have a long. And people gonna be like, "What is this?" You're gonna be so impressed.
You could have tables and stuff as a vendor at like those events, and I'll bet you do okay.
Yeah,
but it's tough to sell like more. Like we had it's at Scyfli, there's nice stuff. Like you guys stock nice stuff at Scyfli. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough to go on the road. In the past I've taken this shop on the road. It's hard. You got to pack a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have veered severely off topic.
Going back to the Volcano real quick, I found pictures of the bag.
Oh yeah, show them the bag.
So this is a pretty big bag.
Yeah,
and
that's the 3-foot bag.
Then I found this really old picture.
Yeah, that's my apartment in college. Yep, this is it.
Oh wow.
I'm fucking kidding. But yeah, this is definitely my apartment. That might be me with the black hat there. Yeah, I don't know who these white girls are. No idea.
The white hat
no idea, baby. I don't know who these women are. But guys, you see how big this bag was. So what you could do was they actually sold a roll where you can make your own bag. So technically, you could make this bag as big as you wanted to, right? And that's what's going on in this picture. They've taken like 6 feet of this roll and blown up the bag. And what you do is you pass that bag around. Post-COVID, I can't even fathom passing a bag around to this many fucking people.
And everybody's putting their lips on it.
But we were invincible in our 20s, right? So it didn't matter.
Well, I'm not.
You're not invincible because you are just injury prone. Guys, Akira's nursing an injury.
Again.
And she doesn't want me to talk about this. But she's just injury prone. And she's got to get another MRI this week because she keeps on messing up her damn legs. She sprained her ankle in Rhode Island at some
rotating stick room.
Yeah, like this. It's called the Ninja Dojo room. That's basically what it was. It was a rotating pole.
You stand there until the pole comes around and
I guess so. I've never heard it say, but okay. So if you've ever watched like Korean game shows or something like that, and they're like running through an obstacle course,
and they fit through the holes like.
Right, and you've got the one where there's a fluffy beam like rotating, and you're supposed to jump over the beam or duck under the beam or get to the side. That's what
I jumped and ducked at the same exact time and tried to hit a button on the wall.
Jumped and ducked. God, I wish I had video.
They got buttons on the wall?
I'm sure they have video. I want to see it to see how my legs.
Oh yeah, you got to call them. So she's injured, and this is not the first time. I think.
Yeah,
travels out of state.
Akira, how many times have you been injured leg-wise since we've known each other?
Well,
at least 3.
I tore my ACL skiing last January 2023. And I was out for a while, and then I sprained my ankle July 4th of this year.
Oh, me too.
In Lake George, and then
that was the rock. There was a rock.
Yeah, that was the rock that I slipped on.
Yep. Keep going.
And then this year, possible tear. I hope it's not, but I'm expecting it.
So Akira is avoiding my mother.
Yeah.
But your mom got hurt too. I saw her the other day.
My mom got hurt too. She has an injury. She's nursing her, but my mom loves to rag on Akira when she gets hurt.
It's like, Akira, are you kidding me?
She just acts like a super mother and is like, girl, how you done this a 3rd time? That's exactly how she say it. So she hasn't talked to my mother since.
I'm scared.
I'm really hoping she just arrives today.
I'm scared.
Pants or like a large skirt.
It would be awesome if she could just walk in here.
No, she'll literally walk in, look at my leg, and just stare at me for like 5 minutes.
And yeah, she'll wait that 5 minutes and then start complaining about it after she's taken it in.
She's like, girl, what the hell?
She needs to develop some one-liners, and then she's gonna attack Akira. But truly, she loves Akira. She loves it because she thinks of Akira as a daughter. So
got to develop those one-liners and how that goes.
Yeah. Well, guys, we kind of reached the end of our show.
We didn't show our picture for Thanksgiving.
Oh, wait, we do have a PSA for Thanksgiving before we end here. Akira, PSA, please. This Thanksgiving, remember the cranberry sauce, but forget the marijuana. All right.
Forget it.
Terry was convinced to take a toke of a joint with his friend just to relax. All right. Immediately after this, Terry fucking killed that guy. Like right after, fucking murdered him.
Immediately
right?
after, comma.
And he just was in a murderous fucking Terry coma. Murderous Terry coma. Right? The friend gave him this weed, fucking kills him. Right?
So
marijuana, not even once. Look at the picture on the bottom left. Look, what is going on?
He's about to stab him.
He looks like he is having a seizure. That's a seizure. He's having a seizure. Okay, and guys, you gotta be smart.
He's really ripping that first.
He is giving himself a headache because this joint is rolled too tightly. That's what's happening in the first picture.
His friend, he's like, he was way too tight.
And we love propaganda here, guys. What a bunch of fucking nonsense. First of all, you absolutely need marijuana on Thanksgiving, right? Absolutely need it. Before you get there, wherever you're going, in the car, well, make sure the car ain't moving, but get there.
Right before, get in the car when you're parked in the parking lot or in the driveway.
Choke it up. Yes. Edible, if you're doing an edible, you're going to need to do that 2 hours before you get there.
Good face.
If you're on an edible, itis is a distinct possibility after eating. At Friendsgiving yesterday.
Even regular itis is a possibility on Thanksgiving.
Wait,
true that.
What does that mean? Regular itis.
Wait a minute.
You don't know
Alex,
itis?
you don't know what itis means?
I don't think so.
It's when you're after you eat. No. It's when after you eat, you gotta unbuckle your pants. You're on the couch. You're like,
Alex, when you go to see your friends over in Philadelphia, your comedy troupe, I want you to tell them that you don't know what itis is and to have them explain it.
Nice.
Please,
I'll put it on the list for the other things.
please tape the responses because I want to see them make fun of you for not knowing what itis is. Itis. Okay, so you eat a bunch of food and you're tired after, right? We call it the itis.
Yeah. I know it's for random diseases or random, like conditions or things that you are, but it's you talking about particularly overstuffed eating is the itis.
Did he just try and give us the real definition of what itis means? No.
Like meningitis.
Exactly. Yeah. You're making me so
in
mad.
high school, they said senioritis.
Oh, yeah. You got senioritis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had a bad case of that shit. I didn't do shit my senior year, but hang out in the home ec ladies' room because she let us cook bacon. At Lenape High School, the home ec teacher let us cook bacon in between classes. So when I was off, I would go there and eat bacon.
That's awesome.
On Urban Dictionary, it's called itis. When you eat too much and you get tired and can't do nothing but sleep. Say, for instance, you just ate some fried chicken and rice from a Chinese spot. Your friends call
chicken
you
and
up.
the fried rice.
Your friends call you up like, let's go out. But damn, you just ate all that food. Now you're tired. You tell your friends, maybe in a half, I got the itis.
So if you're on Urban Dictionary, look up curb stomp and see if my name is still associated with it.
What are you talking about from American History X?
No. Well, yes, but someone altered Urban Dictionary a long time ago to include Alex Bait as a thing in curb stomp on Urban Dictionary.
What do you?
Yep.
It's still there.
Curb stomp, aka Russian mouthwash, the act of stomping on one's head that is positioned with a curb or other concrete object between the upper and lower jaws, usually results in the teeth of the victim going directly into the brain and killing them. Alex Bait takes advantage of his girlfriends by curb stomping them and then having sex with their dead carcasses.
Whoa, I forgot it was like that.
Lord have mercy.
Crazy.
Alex,
Jesus Christ.
I need you to pack up and fucking leave.
I don't know, in the Urban Dictionary, but
Jesus.
my friends did that in like 2001 or something.
This is by Max and Fish, December 19th, 2004.
2004. Oh
Yeah,
my
you
God.
should,
By Max and Fish. I'm going to Fish's 1-year-old son's birthday party immediately after this.
Curb stomp.
I would probably ask him to take this shit down.
Yeah, dang. That's why they weren't hiring me at that one place.
Because this guy here with the Philadelphia Comedy College, Russian mouthwash.
Russian mouthwash.
Why do they call it Russian? Why are the Russians so mean? Russian mouthwash.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't realize it. I just thought it was like a funny thing, like, oh, Alex Bates, curb stomp this. No, that was dark.
Alex,
That was very dark.
You need to go revisit that shit and
It
get
has
it.
226 upvotes, but 489 downvotes.
Good. It should
See,
be downvoted.
they don't
It
fucking
should
like
be.
you.
Yeah.
Guys,
Well, not if I'm
Now has
framed in that way.
490 downvotes.
Good. No, we need more. Let's get some downvotes on that, guys. Urban Dictionary, curb stomp. Find my name. Find Max and Fish. Harass them. No.
All right, guys, we have reached the end. We're going to have one more episode before the year is out. It'll be our kind of our closing episode of our season here. I think we're going to try and watch some clips from the first episode. Just a couple.
I like that.
And we're going to consider streaming our episode live, though there will be at most 2 people watching the stream.
That's okay.
Including me.
Including our producer.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good way to end the year. Maybe we'll do some using on campus, campus camera, and we'll show you some more stuff in operation. So have a great Thanksgiving. If you're seeing this before Thanksgiving, Alex, Akira, you do the same. Have a great Thanksgiving this year.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, tomato, red, hot dog.
Can we play that song on the next episode?
I don't.
You think no copyright strikes?
I don't.
Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
Maybe the remix has copyright.
You ring.
Let me play it.
Name it.
You want to play it as our outro?
That'd be fun.
Greens, tomatoes,
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace out.